All right, so we're going to go ahead and go on to 7-2, which is all about multiplying decimals. So go ahead and follow along and fill out your notes as we go. Here is our key concept.
You can use what you know about multiplying whole numbers to multiply decimals. For example, find 48 and 23 hundredths times 3 and 9 tenths. Step 1. Write the multiplication in a column as you would to multiply whole numbers. Step 2. Find the product in the same way you do when multiplying whole numbers. Multiply the top factor from right to left by the digit with the least place value digit in the bottom factor.
So
Regroup
9
place
times
value
3
products as needed.
is 27, carry your 2. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 2 is 20, carry your 2. 9 times 8 is then 72, plus 2 is 74. Don't forget your placeholder.
Again,
is that 0?
Multiply the top factor from right to left by the next least place value.
3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 8, 24. 3 times 4, 12, plus 2 is 14.
Add the partial products. Step 3. Add the number of decimal places in the factors and use that sum to place the decimal point in the product. There are 2 decimal places in the first factor and 1 decimal place in the second factor.
1. So 2 plus 1 is 3.
So the product has 3 decimal places.
1, 2, 3. And they put a decimal there.
The product is 188 and 97 thousandths. Sometimes you need to write zeros in the product. Here is another example. 43 hundredths times 22 hundredths. For this example, the product has 4 decimal places. So you need to write zeros
2,
as placeholders
3,
in the product.
4. So for this one, they're saying essentially, you know how we slid 3 over here? Well, they're saying that, hey, I have 2 places here, 2 places here. Well, if I scooch over, I only have 1, 2, 3 numbers, right? So I need another loop technically, which means they have to add a 0. So go ahead and watch what they do. They're going to add a 0 and put your decimal before that. So the main
product is 946 10,000ths.
The main thing you need to know with adding and subtracting, remember we line up our decimal and bring them straight down. But when we multiply decimals, we don't necessarily do that. We multiply like we typically would, and then when we're done and we get our answer, we can't forget to see how many times we have to slide. I call it the cha-cha slide. So we have 1, 2, 3. You have to cha-cha slide 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So again, multiply like you typically would, and then slide over however many times you have places between your decimal. On to part 1.
Multiplication you write to bring each partial product into your line of sight. Adding the partial products. Adding the number of decimal places in the factors. Writing zeros if needed.
So let's go ahead and start. Copy this down as I go. If I have 0.7, I'm going to multiply that by 0.08. Let's go ahead and multiply. Well, 7 times 8, 7 times 7 is 49, so plus 7, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. I can't forget to carry my 5. 8 times 0 is 0, plus 5 is 5. 0 is a placeholder. Now I'm at this 0, right? 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. Okay, now I need to add 2 zeros for my placeholders because now I'm at this 0. 0 times 7 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. When I add all of these up, 6 comes down here, 5, 0, and 0. So how many places do I have to move my decimal? I have 1 here, 2, 3. So I need to cha-cha slide a total of 3 places. 1, 2, 3. So my answer is 0.056. Go ahead and copy that down. Let's now go ahead and do this next one. If I have 4.29 and I'm multiplying that by 5.03, 9 times 3 is 27. Carry my 2. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. 3 times 4 gives me 12. I now need to add 0 as my placeholder. 0 times 9 is 0. 0 times 2, 0. 0 times 4, 0. Now I'm at 5. I have to remember 2 zeros. 5 times 9, well, you can do the hand trick. 5 times 9 is 45. I always put my 4 up here a little bit higher. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 4 is 14. I need to carry my 1 above this 4. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. Now, a lot of 6th graders get stuck here because they don't line up all their numbers. So make sure you have nice straight lines so you know what you're adding. Okay, 7 plus 0 plus 0 is 7. 8 plus 0 plus 0 is 8. 2 plus 5 is going to give me 7. 4 plus 1 is going to give me 5. I have 1 and nothing else in this column, and 2. How many times do I need to slide over? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and I should get 21.5787. Go ahead and copy that down. You may want to rewind this video. All right, so at this point, I'm going to go back through. Okay, I'm going to hit solution. And here, they said 0.08 times 0.7 gave them 0.056. Notice how they did their cha-cha slide 3 times. Okay, down here, they got our same answer, 21.5787. Okay, notice how they slid that over 4 times. 21, well, we have tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. This next one we haven't done yet, so go ahead and copy this one down. They put the bigger, it's not the bigger number, the number that has more digits on top. Sometimes that's more visually appealing, so go ahead and copy this down. When they did that, okay, 8 times 5 is 40. They carry their 4. 8 times 3 is 24. Plus 4 gives you the 8. They carry their 2. 8 times 2 is 16. Plus 2 gave them 18. Carry their 1. 8 times 3 is 24. Plus 1 is 25. They then have 0 as a placeholder. 5 times 4 is 20. They carried their 2. 4 times 3, they did so on and so forth. They multiplied their 4s, okay? When they multiplied that, they added that together, and they noticed that they had a cha-cha slide 4 times. So they had 15.5280, or we have tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. So 15 and 528 10,000ths. Go ahead and copy those down. For this next one, they want us to multiply these 2 numbers. So go ahead and copy this down, freeze it until you're ready to go. So if I have 0.066, they want me to multiply that by 0.05. Remember, you do not need to line up the decimal for this one. That's only when you add or subtract decimals. 6 times 5 is 30. Carry my 3. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 3 is 33. Carry my 3. 5 times 0 is 0, plus 3 gives me 3. 5 times 0 is again 0. I need to do 0 as a placeholder. 0 times 6, zip. 0 times 6, zip. 0 times 0, zip. 0 times 0, zip. Now I need 2 zeros for placeholders. 0 times 6, 0. 0 times 6, 0. 0 times 0, 0. 0 times 0, 0. Go ahead and add these together. Again, make sure you can determine the lines, okay? Make sure you know what you're adding in each column. These are all zeros. 3 plus 0 gives me 3. 3 plus 0 gives me 3. These are all zeros. 0 and 0. How many times do I need to cha-cha slide? Well, here, once, twice, 3 times, 4 and 5. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Which means your answer should be 0.0003330. Okay, again, you may need to pause this and rewind to watch it again. Make sure you understand how I got this. If you have a question, feel free to call me over. Okay, make sure you're copying this down in your notes.